Welcome to the Traveling Knitter channel. This is episode 1 of organizing yarn and what's in my cubbies, shop your stash, all of that. I have to come up with a good name for this or some sort of name. Anyway, so what do I use to store my yarn? I have a 5x5 Kalex shelf. I have letters on the side and numbers along the top so that each cubby has a designation. So this is A1, A2, B1, B2, so on and so forth. I also have some containers up top. This, I believe, is all of my cotton. Then we go into more cotton, but more like dishcloth cotton. These are scraps that are fingering weight. These are a couple sock sets. This is also Knit Picks yarn, and then those are scraps that are not sock weight. And then here is like a sweater quantity for my mom. So it may not look organized, but I do know everything that's up there, and I also keep some of my tools. So this is my yarn Swift, and then I have my ball winder up here, my wooden needles, and also the little pieces for the Swift, and I have my blocking socks up here as well. So you're not really gonna see my face for this, but this video will be going through this box, which is where I store all of my knit picks other than the one that I did mention up top. Up top is mainly palette and then leftovers. So this is the bulk. I'm going to go through it, organize, and I also have my laptop here because I do have this container of knit pick skeins that that are not currently accounted for in my inventory. So, like I mentioned, each of the Kalex shelves has a letter and number designation. So this one is D1. D1 is where I keep all my Knit Picks yarns. In theory, I'll end up going through the rest of these, but this is what is in here. I do know everything that's in here is currently on my spreadsheet. So I'm going to start off by adding the new ones. So I made a video at the beginning of last year or this year, I think, and it was about Notion. So I keep my yarn inventory inside of Notion. I have a master page. It's still a sub page, but a master page that's just called Craft Room. And I have yarn inventory, cross stitch inventory for patterns, a pattern book library. So that's these guys. Whoops. Cross stitch inventory of thread, sewing patterns that I own, and then I also have a group of project plans and a little section of festivals I want to attend. So that's what my craft room looks like virtually. And so inside of my yarn inventory, I have a master spreadsheet. I track the status of the yarn. So is it in my stash? Is it leftovers, or have I completely used it up? And then I have some filtered groups. So I have a filtered group for grouped by weight, grouped by brand, and then I think it's like used this year. Yeah, I had one for 2024 spend, 2024 usage, 2025 spend, 2025 usage. So I will be making a 2026 used and spend, because I like to just, see how much is coming in versus how much is coming in via money and going out via like amount of yarn used. So let's get cracking. Add yarn to inventory. So I'm gonna add these 2 Knit Picks Felicis. These are Fairy Chimney. It's really pretty. It's like a neutral purpley pink, or the purpley gray that's both light and dark, a beige, a tan, just really pretty. And then and these will just be socks. Then I do have a full sweater quantity or cardigan quantity of woodland tweed in the Aran weight in grouse heather. I have 2 and 2 of Wonderfluff. Wonderfluff might be one of my favorite yarns. Hi, Astrid, from Knit Picks. It is a bulky weight. This is red clay heather, and this is Welly's heather. I plan to make a specific cardigan or sweater. I can't remember. I do need another color still. They just didn't have it in stock. Then I have 3 skeins of Stroll in Everglade heather. This will be a tank top. I will put the tank top on the screen that this is going to be. And then this one will also be a tank top. I believe this is going to be a My Favorite Things tank top. And this is the Hazy Violet. Oh, okay, ma'am. You just going to hang out there? Hi. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, what a pretty girl. What a good girl. She's so soft. She is gonna stay really soft. Her brother is not as soft anymore. Okay, let's get to adding. Has now been added, and the next thing we're going to do is dump everything out, because this one I didn't do the bottom on this one. Always annoying. Okay, the yarn that is in here, all of this I will quickly show. I have a beautiful selection of this Luminance. This is super soft. It is sophisticated hand paint, a 100% silk, 436 yards, 50 grams. This was purchased at the warehouse sale that Knit Picks used to do. And unsure what to do with this, but I want to hold it with something, but I don't want to lose the brilliance of this. So we'll just put that right back in. Oh, and another thing about these videos, the goal is to, no, don't, leave it alone, Astrid, is to cast something on out of all of the yarn here. No, Astrid, leave it alone. I then have a sweater's quantity of Capretta Superwash in Elliott hand painted. This is an 80-10-10, so that's merino and cashmere. It is like a greenish yellow, also purchased at the warehouse sale. I have this that I never bothered to take out. This is Shadow in Oyster Heather, lace weight, and I could hold this double to make some sort of a sweater or cardigan. I think this would be fun to either hold double with itself or hold with a mohair or a surrey or something. And then, okay, So some of this is pretty old, but I have a bunch of gloss fingering, which is 70% wool, 30% silk. My plan with these, I wanted to make like a pattern set that was the like Tudor wives or Tudor queens. And so I have these ideas of different shawls to make, and that's what I wanted to do with these. So this is Clover is the light green and Jade is the dark green. I will put those back. And I think this is a different yarn. I think this has alpaca in it. Yeah, this is Alpaca Cloud in Rebecca. So that is 100% superfine alpaca. 2 skeins of that. And then I think also in a black. Yep, Thomas. Then I've got some more gloss fingerings in Topaz, Masala, and Robot. And I've got a couple caprettas. So the caprettas are for a specific pattern. It is either a scarf or a shawl. So there is Pinot Heather, which is like a wine color. There's 3 of these, I think. Then I've got Capretta and Turmeric. There's 3 of these as well. And I have Capretta in the bear, I think. No, this is white, so not bear. And there's 3 of those. And then lastly, there are only 2 of Capretta Timber. So these were all purchased with something specific in mind. And I can picture the scarf. I have a physical pattern. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be in this section here. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, right there. This. That would actually be really fun to work on. And then I feel like I had another. Here we go, this one. So I bought the Capretta, I think, for both of these. Either I bought the Capretta for both, or I bought some of the alpaca for this. So this could be a contender for a cast on. So let's actually leave the Capretta at the top then. I have a couple skeins of Dale. I think it's 5. So I could make like a cropped shirt or sweater or cardigan. Two skeins of Muse, which is an Aran heavy worsted weights, 100% superwash merino, and it's a beautiful color. Muse tonal, passionate, hand painted, right? It's not as bright as what it looks like on camera. That I think would be a hat or a cowl. Wow, I feel like I look very not flattering in this angle. So that, I'm gonna hate that when I look at this to edit. I have a stroll fingering in the Great Lakes hand paint. I live in Ohio. I am south of Lake Erie, which is one of the 5 Great Lakes. Sock. Then we have 2 more socks. These are Hawthorne fingering in Silverton and like a sample. I'll be honest, Hawthorne, not my favorite. I would not buy Hawthorne again, and I think this is the last of my Hawthorne. So some nice relatively neutrals, but I wouldn't buy it again because I don't love a high twist in my yarn. Weirdly enough, I like the high twist in the City Tweeds, but I don't like it in Hawthorne. I feel like Hawthorne is too twisted. These are Preciosa Tonal and Blue Sky. I don't think they make this anymore. So this was going to be a cowl. Still can be a cowl, just never grew up to be one yet. Then we have my City Tweed DK Plum Wine. I have quite a lot of this, and I have frogged something. This was a Ginny sweater by Kim Hargreaves, and you know, I would still love to have a Ginny sweater by Kim Hargreaves, but I just haven't had the desire to make this. So back in the box it goes. And then of the new stuff, or of the old stuff, I have 6 skeins of Stroll, 3 in Dandelion and 3 in Black. The plan is to design a is to design hat, cowl, and scarf mittens for Columbus Crew. So that's the plan for this. Currently, I'm not feeling the spark, so that's gonna go in here. And we already went through this stuff, so I'm just gonna put the Stroll back in, just along the top. And really this should go into a different section. This is gonna go into my sock cubby. Okay, so this leaves us with Woodland Tweed and my Caprettas as my, here are my Woodland Tweeds. Do I just go further down? So these are my potential cast-ons. This is a book club cardigan and my Shibui Mix scarf. And this is 3 colors. So let's see. The decision is that I'm gonna cast on both. So I'm gonna cast on the Shibui Mix number 33, which uses 3 colors, and I have decided to go with, and it uses pebble held double, so I think I should have enough, but I'm gonna use the white color as my main color, the white. Then I will use Wine Pinot Heather Capretta, which is again like a deep reddish purple, and I will use that as the gray color. And then I will use Turmeric as what's in here is the pink. So that will be cast on 1, and then my other one will be my book club cardigan. So now I can put this away. And put my socks away. It's just like, where are they? Might have been, sock sets. And that's that. Hope you liked this first episode of going through my stash and how I organize it and what I'm going to cast on from this cubby. Let me know what you think. Should I go through like what all of the planned patterns are? Like if there's a plan, because I do have plans and I think I mentioned them. I'm just not sure if I need to go into that detail because I don't want these to be super long. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just get these on the needle, pick out a project bag and get started. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know how you organize. I'm like balancing on my tiptoes because my ankles don't allow me to be flat. Let me know how you organize your yarn. Do you also use a spreadsheet? I'm a huge fan of using a spreadsheet because all of my yarn is kind of away so that my cats don't bother it. Plus it just looks nice. And having a spreadsheet is just helpful and it brings me joy. Anyway, I hope your 2026 starts off wonderful and I hope you stick around for the other episodes. Bye.